Hi, class 7, a very good morning. How are you guys? Hope you had a good, nice weekend and you enjoyed yourself, had fun, and did your studies as well. I guess Sunday, after all, you don't have to study on Sunday. Enjoy your life. That's a holiday. Every day is a holiday now for you, but you have to make it a point to keep in touch with your studies as well. I know you get bored, you get annoyed when I tell you always study, study, study. Your house also, parents are telling you to study. Sir is also coming online and telling me to study. Okay, anyways, there will be another video for every one of you, for the whole the gang, the group, the whole, all the soldiers from 6 7 8 9 10 5 6 7 8 9 10. You can watch that video. It will be there on Monday for you, and you will be able to watch it next Monday. And rather, there's already one video of, you must have seen it already on Monday. There's one, so every Monday there'll be videos for you, a general guidance about how to go ahead with your studies and what to do, what not to do, and few things, normal day-to-day things talking. So it's good that we get to I get to share my ideas with you and you get to know it. It's not possible for you to reply back online, as this is we'll get to that later. So anyways, you must have got all the answers. Excuse me. You must have got all the answers for your last chapter, chapter 1. It was all solved and it's been put up. It was put up actually on the excuse me, on the website, and you must have taken it down and solved it. I hope there's you had no problems. So we're done with chapter 1. Now we are going to start with chapter 2. Okay, what is chapter 2? The regional kingdoms, part 1. Okay. Now the page is going to be 10 and 11 and 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So I'll just brief you about this chapter, and then we can go slowly. I'll get to the book and then we'll do a reading which will be much more better for you. What are the regional kingdoms? Before this, what did we do? We won't be able to listen to each other because you won't be able to reply. So I am also like a fool sitting for you to reply, but actually it's not that. The first chapter which we did was the medieval world. The medieval world, what happened during that time, what were the groups, how things went ahead, what are the monuments we saw, how do we get information, and through what all the sources we get information, that we did. Okay. Excuse me. So that one was done. So now we are coming to this regional kingdoms. Now what were the kingdoms during that period? We get to know how we get to know the information. We got to know how we get the information. What are the sources through which we can pull up the information. Now we'll come to know what were the regional kingdoms. Regional means different regions of India. What were the kingdoms in the north, east, west, south, and through that we'll compare it with the last chapter. Okay, because of these we come to know this, because of that we come to know that. Okay. So let's begin. The regional kingdoms, part 1. Like there were many dynasties during the early medieval period. We all know about that. Like I had told you in the first chapter also, it was there that there was a tripart which was going on between the Rashtrakutas, Cholas, the Deccan in the north, and the Pallas and the Pallavas also. They were fighting between themselves and they couldn't go. That's when the Sultans, the Mughal period, they came inside and they invaded, and this is what generally happened. Basic idea. So there were many dynasties during that early medieval period, and I have been sending you links also. You must see the links. You can compare it with me, what I share with you. Compare it with the links, write it down yourself and try to understand and get into it. I am telling you, always get hungry for it. So without getting hungry for it, we cannot go ahead. So anyways, so during the medieval in the north, the Rajputs, okay, Number one in the north, the Rajputs, the Ghaznavids, the Ghorids, the Palas, the Gurjara Pratiharas were powerful in that were powerful. Okay, so that's what it is written. Also here also is the same thing in your book. That's I had made few notes for it and I remember. So Deccan was the Rashtrakutas, a few smaller kingdoms. In the south again the Pallavas, the Pandyas, the Cholas were dominant powers. They used to dominate the whole area. So we get information about this. I will give you more information about it. I'll try to explain it in a more elaborate way for you so that you don't have any problems. But first I'll just brief you. In this class I'll just, in these videos, 2 videos of half an hour, whatever it comes up, I'll just brief you about this chapter. Wherever we finish, we'll just put a mark with the pencil. And on Thursday I'll come back, we'll go further ahead, or I'll again explain and give an elaborate explanation till here, and then we'll go slowly with this. We'll not hurry with anything. Okay, now we'll go to the North India. The Rajputs. The Rajput word comes from the word Rajputana, Rajputra, which means the son of a king. This is the general basic ideas we know. They were the descendants of the Central Asian tribes. Some believe that they were the descendants of the Central Asian tribes settled in India after the Hun invasion. Okay, or after the Han invasion. The Rajputs, however, some of them claim to be Kshatriyas or the warrior class, and during the Vedic times, then they claimed they were from the Suryavanshi, that is belonging to the sun family, or the Chandravanshi, that was belonging to the moon family. Some Rajputs also, they considered themselves as the part of the fire family, the Agni Kula, and they believed that they were born out of a sacrificial fire. Okay, then the Tomars, Chauhans, Solankis, Parmaras, Gahadawalas and the Chandelas were the main Rajput clans ruled during this period. Okay, now Tomars were from Delhi, okay, and the Chauhans were from Rajasthan, the Solankis were from Gujarat, and Parmaras were from Malwa, and Gahadawalas were from Kannauj. Okay, Chandelas of Bundelkhand was there. Like a long poem on Prithviraj Chauhan was composed by his court poet. You have read about it in the chapter number 1, the work and his composer, about Prithviraj Chauhan, about his domination type of part, or that how he used to suppress the people and get his work done. Prithviraj Chauhan. Okay, in the first chapter we have done that. The Chauhan, also known as the Chahamanas, they were ruling actually in the region around Delhi and Ajmer. The most powerful Chauhan ruler was, as you know, Prithviraj Chauhan. He defeated Muhammad Ghori in 1191. However, a year later, Ghori defeated and killed Prithviraj. The Solankis were also known as the Chalukyas of Gujarat. Siddharaja was the most powerful ruler, as we know, and the Dilwara temples at Mount Abu and the Sun temple at Modhera were built by the Solanki rulers. Again, we say the sources were temples and monuments and whatever was built during that time. The Parmaras of Malwa, Bhoja Parmara was a powerful ruler. His capital was in Dhar. The Nilankanteshwara temple at Udaipur was built by the Parmaras. Gahadawalas of Kannauj, the Gahadawalas ruled in the region around Kannauj, the main place. The Gahadawala king Jayachandra was defeated by Muhammad Ghori. So Muhammad Ghori was doing a great action thing, so which came into action. Okay, then we have the Chandelas of Bundelkhand. The Chandelas were the rulers of the land between the Yamuna and the Narmada rivers, and their capital was Khajuraho. The capital of the Chandela rulers was Khajuraho, and there were many temples and all built during that time. Okay, and now one of the important Kirtivarman. Yes, Kirtivarman was one of the most powerful rulers of the dynasty of that time. Then came the Ghaznavids from 1000 BC, the 1000 century, 1000, from the 1000 years. It's actually inside in this also. I just want to confirm. And yes, okay. Just like that, from the 1000 years onwards, from the 1000 BC onwards, many invaders entered into India across the mountain passes in the northwest. Northwest is again towards that side, towards the Himalaya side. The right range from it's towards this side of Kashmir, on the west side of Kashmir. And Mahmud, the ruler of Ghazni, was the first series of invasion. Mahmud of Ghazni was the first fellow who came and started invading into India, the Ghaznavids. That's why it was called Muhammad Ghazni. Now Mahmud Ghazni. Mahmud Ghazni was the ruler of the kingdom of Ghazni in Afghanistan. Okay. Now, to invade a place, actually you need lot of manpower. Manpower, muscle power, you need a lot of huge army. So, he had that, Mahmud of Ghazni had that, that, what do you say? He had those calamities inside him, he had those points inside him, that he had those things inside him to build up that huge thing. He had that confidence created with the people. So he had a huge, most powerful army at that time. And he was the most powerful kingdom in that region of Afghanistan. And he had heard so much wealth of the kingdoms of northern India. They get to know, they send people, they send some spies who come around to just to move around the place, and they come to know what is there. This information he got. So he decided to raid India and to collect the money to build up his army. This was his main idea. He didn't want to come inside India and stay. Now, in a span of 26 years, from 1000 BC to 1026, Muhammad invaded India 17 times. It's a huge, it's very surprising, and it's very, I like to, explain more and more and more. Things don't finish explaining. 17 times. So, as many times he invaded, so many times he took back things with him. His early raids were the Hindustani rulers of Punjab. Then he defeated the Jaipal and Anantpal. He also attacked the red temple towns in India. He raided Mathura, Kanauj in 1018 and Somnath in 1026. The Somnath temple in Gujarat was stripped of its wealth. He had taken everything. Even the precious stones embedded in the temple walls were taken out by Muhammad and carried all the booty, whatever he got, were taken back to Afghanistan, where he built a beautiful mosque, library and museum. Muhammad died in 1030. Now the Ghurids. So this automatically system happening. One dies and one comes in. One goes and one comes in. One goes and the other comes in. Whoever is powerful, who comes in. So they were really very powerful. Actually, his main initiative was not to come into India and make his powerful kingdom here. He wanted to take back the wealth and make his army the most powerful. That was his main issue of Muhammad Ghazni. That's what he wanted to do actually, basically. So he invaded India 17 times. I'll come with this again. As I said, I'll bring it more elaborately to do. I'm just today just discussing normally. I'm just telling you what are the things going to happen in the chapter. Okay, so we are going to do it like that. So let's keep it till here, till the Ghaznavids, Muhammad of Ghazni, and we'll mark it till there. We'll not do Ghurids today. I'll just try to make a video and give you some explanations about it, and so that we can come to know, and I'll give you more information about it. So see you in the next video, guys. And I hope you all are doing your writing also, your handwritings, and you're studying as well and making your notes and keeping in touch. I had told you to make a routine in your house. I hope you have made it where you study, the place where you study, and be very proactive. You know, you have to get active, get into it. And as I said, no one wants to cook, everyone wants to eat. So I am doing the cooking and you are eating. So I am sharing everything with you, and I am really into it. And please make use of it. And don't hesitate. You can ask me anything, whatever you want. I'm there on both the groups of Hartford, so you can just jot down a message and write it to me. For Sonali, the only one. Hi Sonali, how are you doing? Hi to other guys. Hi Soumya. Hi Shivam. Hi Divyanshu, Ayush, Tiger, Cheetah, Alam. Happy Eid to all of you. Belated Happy Eid. I'm sorry I couldn't wish you in time, but I hope you all had enjoyed, had fun. Wish you all best of luck, and see you in the next video. I'll come with a small explanation about the Ghaznavids and Muhammad al Ghazni. Okay? I'll come back just now. Bye.